Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I can share my screen because in true Jillian fashion, I have a presentation. So give me a few seconds. I'll try and make this. There we go. Okay, so thank you so much for the introduction. Can you guys see that? Thumbs up if you can see it. Okay, great. So thank you so much for the introduction. I actually committed to do this call probably about a month ago, and about 2 weeks ago, as Joan mentioned, I was out walking my dog at 8 in the morning, and I was in a crosswalk, and I got hit by a car. And I have a fractured pelvis. I don't know if you all can see this fun apparatus I have on me. I have a fractured pelvis. I'm in rehab. And so I have every excuse in the book to tell Joan, sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm in rehab. I have a fractured pelvis. I can barely see out of this eye. I can't really move my face that well. My head's half shaven. But that's not really who I am. I'm kind of a no excuses girl. And I wanted to make sure that this call sort of outlined that. I work a full-time job at a very large company, at a Fortune 10 company, actually, and I still do this business, and I love it. I love what it does for me. I could technically leave my full-time job right now, but I do a really good job of balancing both of them, and I like what I do full-time. So for those of you who are like, oh, I feel like I definitely have to leave if I match my salary, my full-time job. You don't. You absolutely don't. You like this little pull thing here in case I have an emergency. I'm like crazy over here. But anyway, so don't feel like, you have to put in all this time in order to make this business work for you. You definitely don't. I put in about 10 hours a week. I put in about an hour a day during the week, and about 5 hours total on the weekends, because that's what I have time for. So all my backup stuff gets done on the weekends, but my power hour stuff gets done during the week. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do for my power hour, and I'll take questions at the end. If you guys can't hear me at any point, please feel free to let me know. Okay. So these are my power hour to-dos. This is what I do every single day, every single day, non-negotiable. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I get hit by a car. I don't care what the issue is. This is happening every single day. You can do this business in 10 hours a day, or you can do this business in 1 hour a day. It's totally up to you, okay? So I write out my power to-do list every single day, which pretty much stays the same, and I'll go over that next. I write out my weekly goals, which change. I read and listen to my personal development every day. I'm a big fan of multitasking. So when I am out walking, I'll listen to things. No, I'm not walking because I can't walk right now. But when I'm out walking, I'll listen to things. If I'm in my car, I'll listen to things. I will, listen while I'm cooking dinner, something like that. So if you feel crunch for time, feel free to do those kind of things. I work on me. So a lot of people ask me well, how do you get to be a 5-star diamond coach? How do you get your team there? I lead by example. If I expect my team to do something, I better be doing it 2 times as much as I expect them to do it. I work out every day. Right now, I'm just physical therapy is my workout. I drink my Shakeology. I do my business development. And others follow me every single day. I have the right mindset and intentions. So I do a lot of free groups, and I'm going to talk about those in the next slide. But I don't expect anything in return. I don't expect people who join my free group to definitely buy something, and I don't push that. I certainly ask and invite, but it's not the be-all, end-all for me, and I think that's really, really, really important. And the last thing this might be really obvious, you may be like, well, obviously no excuses, but I've watched the top 10 coaches for a long time, and they're all super different. They all look different families, different backgrounds, different parts of the country, but you'll never hear them make excuses, and you'll never, ever, ever hear them complain. So what I mean by that is, if they miss a deadline or they miss a goal, they're not like, oh, well, it's because, I wasn't feeling well that day. No, they take responsibility. They're like, I missed that. That stinks. Let's figure out how to make it happen for next month or next week or tomorrow or whatever the goal may be. So no excuses ever, guys. None. So what's my power hour? So I add 3 to 5 people to my network every single day, or 20 people a week. Some people like to do it in big chunks. Some people like to do it in small chunks. I return all my messages. I do 2 shares per day. I heard the girl before me talking about this, making sure that she's sharing on her social media every single day. I build 2 to 5 new relationships a day. I invite 2 to 3 people to my next group, and I'm going to show you on my calendar how I stay really focused and how I always have something to invite them to, always something new and exciting and starting up. I follow up with everyone. I make a to-do list for tomorrow. I post on my team page. I'm really random about it. If I think of something, I'm like, oh, I'm going to post that. If I see something I like that's awesome, I'll share it. I make sure to really just post in there a lot, but I'm not very methodical. So for those of you that like more method, feel free to stick to that. I just like to make sure that everything that is going through my brain is on there. I post my personal social media, non-negotiable every single day. I share a lot about my story. Right now I'm sharing a lot about what's going on with my health, and I'm getting a lot of comments about how positive I am and how this has been amazing, and like I'm blown away by it because I don't even consider myself being super positive. I'm just sharing what I'm going through every single day. I put the business in front of 3 to 5 people every single day at a minimum. I talk to 3 to 5 people about it. I don't say, hey, do you want to be a coach? But I talk about coaching in general, right? Not spammy. And this is what I focus on every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. Okay? Like literally no excuses. So this is my power hour, and this is my weekly to-do list. Okay, so this is an example of one of my team calendars. And I do allow everyone in my entire team to join all of my groups. I am their coach first and their business mentor second. I like to think of it like. So if they're struggling personally, I want them in there focusing on their fitness, on their nutrition, whatever they need help to focus on, I want them in there. If they want to add people, like they have challengers and they're not ready to set up a group yet because it's really time consuming to set up a group, guys. So if you're just starting out, talk to your upline about joining their groups or get a success partner or something like that. All I ask is that they upload something to the files section that's useful, that people can use. I'm not super picky about what it is, and that they're active in there. That's it. So that's really, really, really important to me. So this is my team calendar from February. The sales are on here. We had a fun, people trying to beat me in Success Club points, power hour every day. February was a team cup month. So I start every single month, and you'll see this with a 7-day Shakeology Jumpstart or some sort of free group. So in the 7-day Shakeology Jumpstart, every team is different about this. Sometimes I'll send out the 7 days, like I'll put together what flavors they want and I'll send it out for the person. Sometimes the person will go online, because if you order online the 7 days, you get one of each flavor, and that works really well for some people, but other people say, I only want chocolate, or I only want chocolate vanilla, whatever. So I always start with a 7-day Shakeology Jumpstart and some sort of free something. This month I actually did financial fitness because I was able to get our family out of debt, which is super exciting. So a lot of people are following me about that. So I did a free financial fitness group. And I always offer the 7-day Jumpstart, although because it costs money and the group is totally free, it's not required. But it is a great way, even though it's not a huge profit maker, it's a great way to get people interested and have them understand the value of Shakeology. And eventually, I'd say probably 60 to 75% of people that do a Jumpstart end up committing to a challenge pack. So, but they may not have committed if they didn't try those 7 days and see how the Shakeology made them feel. So I always offer a meal plan with it too. So February was a little bit more basic. Like I said, this month was financial fitness. And then, so right before the first of the month, first week, Monday of the month, I'm always inviting to that free group. I'm talking about it, dropping hints about it, inviting. Then that free group starts. And then I'm inviting to my next group, which is I call it my paid challenge group. It's not paid, but it's for people that commit to a program or Shakeology or both. So I'm reaching out to everyone in my free group, right, because they committed to a free group. So I know that they're interested in something health and fitness. about it, right? And my internet connection is unstable. I hope this doesn't continue. And they say yes or no. We did something called Rev Up Your Resolution. So that was basically for people that maybe had tried to make a New Year's resolution and it wasn't successful. And so we kind of played a little bit on that. Like, okay, someone just asked the question. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. So I invite them to that group and say, and I require Shakeology or a program or both. I don't require a challenge pack. I know everyone has different feelings on that. I feel like someone might not be ready for a challenge pack, and if they want the program, great, they can join us with that. They may not get the best results in the world, but maybe they'll come back for the challenge pack, and oftentimes they do. So the first half of the month, I'm really working on hitting Success Club. And I will tell you that, I'm consistently at, like this month I'm at 18. My husband is at 6. And we've been there since before my accident, since the 8th. So that's really good. So the first half of the month, I'm really working on making sure that I get people in my challenge groups, get them up and moving. So I have the free group to kind of show me who might be interested in my paid group. Then I invite to my paid group. And then I do an intro to coaching group. So I'm taking everyone who joined my free to my paid group saying, hey, do you have any interest in learning what we do as coaches? And I can really spend the second half of the month concentrating on converting challengers to coaches, working really hard in my challenge groups, making sure that I'm kind of there and inviting to the coaching opportunity. So that's really how I structure my month. Everyone is a little bit different, but like I said, it helps me hit Success Club in the first half of the month, not worry about it really. And in the second half of the month, I really ramp up and convert those challengers to coaches, and help people understand what it is that we do as coaches. Keep seeing chats pop up. Joan, do you know if I should be answering those or?
We can have you, we'll look at the end. If anything that is super important pops up, I'll let you know.
Okay. So here's some conversation starters. And I know people struggle a little bit with this. Well, what the heck do I say to these people? Compliment, comment, question is what I like to use. So, hey, like, I love that picture of your puppy. He's so cute. What kind of dog is he? You can ask general questions like that, more personal questions. You can say things like, have you considered? Please use their name. I know this may sound really silly, like, hey, hun, and hey, love is cute. And I'm not saying I never do that, but when you use their name, they really take notice, especially if it's like a hard to spell name. Like I'll have someone whose name is like Ashley, Ashlee, and I'll spell it correctly. And they're like, oh my God, you spelled my name right. She might actually care about me. And I do care about them. I'm not spamming people. And so I want them to realize that. I don't want to blow it by saying like, hey, hon, hey, love, hey, whatever. So that's super important. And this is really important for Instagram. I feel like Facebook, it's a little more obvious. But I did not have Instagram before I became a coach. And I would say it's my second platform, like Facebook's number 1 and Instagram's number 2 for me. And I have a really awesome training on how I work my Instagram. I built to about 10,000 followers in 2 years, and how I do that in about 7 minutes a day on my YouTube channel. So if you have any curiosity about how I work my Instagram and keep it all in my time management, please feel free to check that out. That's kind of another topic for another day, and I'm happy to come back and do that call if Joan would like at some point. So some other questions. How long have you been into? Do you use blank or blank? Would you rather blank or blank? Have you tried this in the past? What's your best advice for? Would you recommend? You're talking to these people because you want to know what they have to say, right? Like, I think that's super important. This is the one profession where we get to choose our coworkers. I don't choose my coworkers at work, like, at all. I have my boss assigned to me. I have my coworkers assigned to me. That's fine. But you're interested in this person, right? Like, you want to know about them. You want to see if they'd be a good fit. I'm really picky on who I invite to the opportunity because I don't want to just work with everyone. I want to work with who I want to work with, and I want those people to be successful. I want to pour all my time and effort into someone that I'm like, on, and that doesn't really want it for themselves. So these are some really great conversation starters, and I am more than happy to send Joni slides when we are done if you guys would like them, because I know that we're going through them pretty fast. Okay, here's a really good social media planner. Like I said, I will send these over. Posting 2 to 3 times a day is part of my power hour. If you have no idea what to post, here's 2 to 3 different kinds of posts a day that you can do for every single day, and sort of allows you to do a combination of Beachbody and regular life type stuff. I find that Monday to Thursday is best for me, like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday to Sunday, you still want to be active. And actually, I find Sunday night to be great lately. But if you're doing like an awesome call to action or something like that, don't do it on Saturday night, would be my suggestion, unless you happen to have like really good traction for some reason on Saturday nights on your page. But I don't find that works for me. When I do an awesome call to action, what I do, and this is kind of like one of my hacks, I put up a post that I know is going to get a lot of traction beforehand, probably nothing to do with coaching or fitness or anything. Picture of my dog, my husband, something that people are going to love on. And then like 1 to 2 hours later, I'll do my call to action, because it's bringing people into my page and allows me to make sure that my call to action, which usually gets the least amount of traction, gets a decent amount of traction. Because you'll see, even on like the most popular coaches' pages on their social media, all these posts will get like 700 likes, and then they'll do a call to action, they'll get like 50, and it's all coaches. So just try and like play the system a little bit, so that, you know, you can make Facebook work to your advantage, because I know the algorithm is sort of forever changing out there. Okay, so these are my top 5 time management tips. Have a plan and stick to it. So put your calendar together and be like, this is what I'm doing every single day. No question asked. Know what you're inviting to. Don't be scatterbrained. I think that's where I start to kind of lose it, is where like I'm inviting to 500 different things and my audience is confused and I'm confused and I don't even know what's going on. If someone's doing an awesome group this month, like say they're doing like a group and you're like, oh, I would love to do a crock pot clean eating group. That's great. Get their outline and do it next month as your free group. Like, do not like mumble in a bunch of things that you're like kind of half doing, because then you're going to have to do everything and you're going to go back to, you know, talking to everyone, which means you're talking to no one, and it just becomes a mess and you get really, really, really unfocused. Do it every day, every day, every day. This is something that I meant to touch on earlier and I forgot, but put the necessary before the fun. So what I mean when I say that is that like I'm really good at like Excel and worksheets and spreadsheets and that sort of stuff. And while that stuff isn't fun, a lot of people find like doing flyers and stuff really fun. I'm really bad at that stuff, guys. And I used to spend like 3 hours putting together a flyer and Rona designs. And I'm like, this is freaking ridiculous. What am I doing? And I stopped putting that stuff first. I stopped doing them. First of all, like, I don't find flyers help my business, but if I do need a flyer, a cover photo, or web design or something, I outsource it now. I use a website called Fiverr, Fiverr, and it's like $5 to $10 to get a flyer done. And to me, that's worth 3 hours of my time. So if you hate messaging, do it first, okay? If you hate, you know, getting organized, do it first. If you hate posting on social media, do it first. Do all that stuff first. This business can be super fun, but it's only going to get fun if you do the necessary stuff to make it fun. Take your hardships and turn them into success. So I did the slide well before I got hurt, but this is true. Like, if you are always feeling bad for yourself, always thinking like, oh, woe is me, you're not going to be successful. But if you kind of like think to yourself like, well, how can I make this into something that shows what an awesome person I am and shows what a great opportunity Beachbody is and shows that anyone can get in shape, you're going to see a lot of success. So that's super, super, super important. And this is the last and most important thing I can tell you guys. Stop scrolling. Stop. I see that you guys are on Facebook, like, la, 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 la. Like, you're like, I'm working. I don't understand. I'm at Success Club Zero. It's the 30th and I'm working. I've been working all month. You're not working. You're scrolling. Stop scrolling. And I'm not saying you can't scroll ever, but if you're very limited on time, this calls on time management. That is not where your time should be spent at all, really, ever. And right now, I'll tell you guys, I'm scrolling a lot. I'm sitting in a rehab bed 24 hours a day. And so I'm scrolling a lot. But normally, I never scroll because I don't have time. I'm working my regular job from 8 to 6. I'm making dinner. I'm putting in my hour of Beachbody time. I'm spending time with my husband. I'm going to bed. Like, I don't have time to sit there and scroll every single minute. So just stop it. And that's what I mean when I say this business can be done in 10 hours or it can be done in 1 hour. If you want to do it in 1 hour, you're going to have to give up the scrolling. Okay. So I'm going to be bold and give you an assignment. And because we're coming to the end of August, I think it's a really great time to look at your calendar for next month and see what it looks like. I think Bridget talked a little bit about what her calendar looked like when I was getting on the call, and that's great. So if you are using the health bet, which we all should be, it's like a ton of free money that we don't have to deal with it all, and Beachbody's just giving out. Make sure that you are set to have that start on whatever day. I think it's September 4th, and set to have it end at a certain day, and make sure that you're inviting like 10 to 14 days ahead of time so people can get their stuff in and make a decision, and you can do follow-ups and all that stuff. But think about what you're going to be inviting to next month. Like I said, I do a free group every month. I do a paid group every month. There are people that want to come into a program. I do an informational coaching group every month. I do an informational coaching call every month. So I set up my calendar so that all that stuff is done every single month. And I know every week what I'm inviting to for that week. And then, of course, I want you guys to be bold and start reaching out. Start talking to people. People are embarrassed to come to you. And I know Bridget talked a little bit about this when I was getting on too. But being overweight is hard, and being broke is hard. And sometimes it's really hard for people to say to you, or even drop a like on a post, or say like, hey, I need help. So if you reach out, most of the time, I people tell me all the time, like, thank you so much for not giving up on me. Like, thank you so much. Because most people reach out to them, they don't respond, and they're just given up on, right? But we're not going to do that. We're not going to give up on them. We want to help them. We want to help them. We want to help them meet their goal. We want to help them get off blood pressure medication. We want to help them in any way we can. We want to help them pay their bills off. However we can, we want to help them. So remember that. Remember that most people are going to be thankful and not annoyed by you. Just be tactful and classy, and, make sure you're not just like throwing your link out there and spamming people, but saying to them like, hey, I know last month wasn't good for you. No one ever drops off my follow-up list, by the way, until they commit. I know last month wasn't good for you, but I have a group starting up this month, and we're going to be splitting up to $3 million in a pool. Is that something you'd be interested in? Probably, so really start reaching out, start following up, start talking to people. The worst thing that can happen is that they say no. And if you never message them in the first place, they already said no. So, that's what I have. I know it was kind of fast, but that's sort of my MO, is this quick time management and getting to the point and making sure that you guys get the facts you need. So I hope, this was helpful.
So helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We really do appreciate your time. Does anyone have any quick questions before we jump off? If not, we're going to let her go rest because I can't believe
I'm okay. I think I can only be out here till like 10:30. I have to go back to my little room at some point.
They're making you go back to your room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, seriously. It's like sweet wallpaper back here. I don't know.
How long will you be there?
Like 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be a long haul. I'm pretty injured. I'm lucky to be speaking, and
oh wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. Well,
Thank you so
we're happy
much.
that you're okay.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, like I said, I know I thought about backing out, and I sent you a message like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I thought to myself, like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, this is who I am. Like, I'm working my business. I'm working hard, and I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to not do this. So
You just proved that you can do this business from literally
Anywhere. No excuses.
I know. It's so funny. I was telling my mom I was going to do the call, and she was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be up anyway. I'll just be like watching the Red Sox game if I'm not, on the call." And she was like, "Yeah, no one can give you any excuses anymore that they're like sick or tired." And like,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're like, exactly. Well, I was working this from a hospital bed.
Yeah, I'm in rehab, and I have brain bleeding doing this. So, yeah.
Well,
I don't have anything, you guys. I'm more than happy to.
they're just saying you're amazing. Thank you so much. You flip and rock. God bless you. Amazing tips. Love the tip from Fiverr. I've heard coaches doing that funnel method. They love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay, I'll send you over this presentation when we get off. You guys, if you need anything, please message me. Don't be embarrassed or whatever. And honestly, like, I have more free time right now than I normally do, so don't feel like my team is like, "Oh, it feels weird about messaging me," and I'm like, "You guys, I'm here. I'm just
please message me."
Yeah, I'm bored. No, but seriously, if I can get back to you, I will. So don't be embarrassed about that at all. If you need anything, please message me.
Rock on. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. I will go ahead and post the recording of this in the team page and the slides as well in the files section. So
quick recovery.
Thank you.
Night, guys. Night, Jillian. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So
Bye.
grateful.